walking in strange places on a strange street. If you think I came just for discover some industrial area, you're not really right. We came here because we found a gym, like cheap gym around here. So basically I prefer to come to budget gym where people training like really hard. It's really motivate you to work harder than they are. So I think this kind of competitiveness in gym like really important for get better result and work harder. Good morning everyone, with you Yaroslav Shvets again. And yeah, we're starting another great day. So let's warm up and have a really good training. So today I want to discuss a little bit about regime, what really important if you want to increase your results in exercises. But basically same as we discuss many other things, you can use it for your life in general as well. Yeah, so today's legs training, really briefly, I want to do about 4-5 exercises. I think do the 4 sets, what will be quite enough, about 8-12 reps per set, but I will do it more difficult way. I'll do the only 1 minute rest before the sets. And yeah, let's check what we have in the fridge, because usually people ask what do I eat. Yeah, mostly fruits, vegetables, a lot of mushrooms here, the grains and eggs and salad. And for the lunch I take a fruit salad. So basically the fast carbs will give me the energy. And yeah, I have a protein shake what I'll drink in the gym later on. Okay, so enough about the food, and let's come back to our exercises. So each time I try to make even the same exercise in a different way, like with a control motion or static dynamic and so on. So now I'll be change machine after another, so my muscle have no idea what I'll do and try to shock them again. And I'll take a really small rest, minute, maybe 1.5 minutes, and we'll see how it's going. But yeah, if you like really out of breath and you have no power for work hard enough, so it will be reasonable for take a less weight or increase the rest time as well. But we'll see how it's going. So let's come back for the regime. So probably it will be not a surprise. If you have a really good regime, you might increase your results dramatically. One of the really good example I can provide, like people who go to the army and they have a lunch, breakfast, dinner in the same time, they have a training in the same time. So you train your body work as a better than a switch watch. So this all of the mechanism works really precisely. So you have a food in a certain time, so your body ready for it and make a stomach juice and ready to digest the food. And when you do the exercises every day, same time, so your body know, okay, it's workout time, so time for produce a little bit more hormones. Then what is really important, so maybe even more important than and what time you have food and what time you're training, so when you go to sleep. So your body already know, so you go and sleep 9 or 10 p.m. okay, let's say 11, whatever. So your body do the recovering work, what's really important, and your hormone growth produced, and mostly it's during nighttime. So for increase hormone growth, so I'll do another video when I explain more precisely about the hormone growth. So usually when we work on a negative phase, it's time when we make a micro stimulation for produce a little bit of these lovely hormones for make a good recovery for us. And sleeping time, so basically it start to produce about after a couple hours and we'll get to the sleep. So actually it might be even synchronized with a fast state of sleep. So if you go to sleep 9 or 10, it's the best time for you, because the maximum peak when your hormone growth is produced, it's about midnight.
so you have to be sleeping like 2 hours already, like more or less. So basically in this time you catch a maximum amount of hormone, so what gives you maximum recovery and so on. So another example of the regime, let's say when you send the kids to the camp for a week or month's time and they have morning exercises, activity time in the same time every day, and breakfast, lunch, dinner same time every day, so your body starts working like a watch. So it's not surprise for you. So let's say you're going to work, wake up at the same time, so you're okay wake up in 6 or 7 a.m. and you're okay go to sleep, let's say in 11 p.m. because you do it every day during the months or even years, and at the same time you have a lunch break and so on, so you already get hungry to the certain time and so on, and everything works well. And when you break the regime, you're not hungry yet and you're eating, so the food will be not digest such well. Sometimes don't have time for do the workout in the morning or in the evening and do it a different time, just for not get lazy. Always do my best, but I notice when I do it like every day and the same time, results increasing. I can do it more time and take a shorter amount of time for rest. I can work with a bigger way and so on. But for the see the difference, I think you need to spend at least a month's time. So probably when you get such of muscle and body memory, let's say, like any other habit, good or bad habit, we can achieve. It's need like 28 or a bit of more than 28 days. But some habits you can get it quite quickly, like in a 21 days. Let's say get addiction to the sugar or coffee, whatever. And some of them a bit longer, so it may be more than 1 month's time. So if you're gaining weight and you have like 5 or 6 meals per day, so basically you need to always carry some box with food. But in some countries like, I don't know, Southeast Asia, India, China, there's a lot of like food everywhere, street food. So basically you can stop literally everywhere and buy some eggs or barbecue or I don't know, fish, meat, seafood, whatever what we eat. So there's no problem with that. Otherwise, you always need to carry some boxes with food. If you take India, for healthy food, let's say some complex carbs, it will be not so easy to find. And same if you're in States or Europe, whatever, it's 90% of food around, it's a fast carb, so probably you no need it. So much better it just cook for yourself, what I try to do, and it's really easy for count the calorie. It's really easy for know how much protein, good fat and carbs you have. And if let's say you have a breakfast at 6 or 7 and then after 3 hours you need to eat it again because you keep your metabolism fast and you're in a public transport or somewhere, so you take a box with some, I don't know, eggs and pasta, whatever, and you're done. Same like you have a lunch and after you're supposed to have a second lunch after a couple hours, but you're somewhere like in the middle of work and whatever and you can get it. But if you have like a protein shake with you, it will be like a perfect solution and so on. So if you want to do it like in the same time, you need to like carry on watching your watch and so on. But basically if you do it for a month's time and you will be okay with such regime, and then you will be already hungry after 2 hours or 1 hour and so on. But in this case, when you speed up your metabolism, after it will be quite harsh to slow it down. Otherwise, you will be always hungry after 2 or 3 hours and you need to deal with that. But still, it depends for what result you're fighting on. Same training, if you do the 2 training per day, you're a big guy. So let's say you do the cardio in the morning and weightlifting in the evening or whatever, you need to keep it every day. So your body already know you burning fat, you do the cardio, it keep your body lean and so on. So I guess I need to make the video when I explain about the muscle memory and like body memory. So let's say if you gain in weight to the first time, you increase your calories and you maybe not get such good result. So let's say after a few months you increase amount of calories and gain weight again, so probably you'll get a little bit better result because your body already know what you're doing. And after a few attempts, let's say 5, 6, your body exactly know what you want from it. You increase amount of calories, you change your training, it means you gain in weight, so you will gain weight much quicker than the first time and you will gain much more. Same when you cutting. So if you want to be lean and you cut your calories, you do more cardio, you more active. So let's say you get ready to the competition, boxing or wrestling or fitness modeling. So first time it might be a process will be quite harsh. You go to sauna, drink less water, eat less food, super active, and weight go down really slowly because your body not really know what you want from it. The second time it will be, let's say, on the next season a little bit easier, and when you do it like, I don't know, 5, 6 times, your body will exactly know what you want from it. When you cut calories, add some cardio, you will get the same result much quicker. So basically it's common sense, but unfortunately we didn't study anatomy such precisely in school, and a lot of people, maybe even a majority of people, have no idea how the body works, what fuel you need to give it to it, what action you need to do, because your organs, your cells basically interact on the environment. So it depends what environment you create, you have a certain reaction in your body. So in this way, if you know on what language you need to speak to your body, I mean on a body language, you can get a certain result. For, let's say, you can make improvements in your health, you can make great improvements in your look, be more fit, be more strong. And the regime, I think it's really important. So everything works like a really cool, precise mechanism. So what other example I can give it to you? So different training camps, let's say like for the police, same thing. They have a training at the same time, they have a food at the same time. And usually people, they say the same thing. They had a really good result like in year time, but before they training, just go to gym randomly during even 2 and 3 years and didn't get such good result. Same sports school. So if you give your kids to sports school and the trainer make a program for the kids, so it will be strict intense on the regime what you have. So have enough recovery, what days have a training hard and what days should be easy training, like only on techniques and so on, what food should be for have enough amino acids, vitamins, proteins and so on. And usually you have trainings always in the same time, and the trainer make let's say if it's month cycle regime, so 1 week it might be hard trainings, another week it will be light one for not overtraining and so on, or it can be like 2 training per weeks really difficult and 2 trainings per week maybe intense on a technique. It depends from a sport, maybe it's like gymnastic or athletic or powerlifting, whatever. Because if you always will be training hard, 2 training per day, you might be stuck with your nervous system, because it might be just let's make a micro fail because you're just overtraining and overtiring and get it worse. So you need to balance with it, and you need to check how your body works. Are you okay for working harder? So basically, as long as you're training, you can increase your potential. You can work harder. So basically, with a certain knowledge, you can create any training system you want, and you create any regime what might be suitable for you, because we working in different time and we different countries, so it might be a little bit not the same, but for our hormone system, it's basically more or less work similar. And it's really important not only for your physical state, for your mental state as well. And the nutrition, I mean the food what you eat is really, really important. Because your exercises is not only about what supplements you take or how hard you're training. It's also about what nutrition you give to your body and how you take a rest. So if you feel you're overtraining, so probably you don't need to train in every day. So you may one day rest and one day training. If you feel okay for training every day but still feel tired, so maybe one day you can do cardio and another day you do the powerlifting or fitness or whatever you do. Or you can do one day like light training. Let's say working on technique, maybe you do the boxing or some other kind of martial arts, and another day you can do the hard training for be more focused on a health state. So basically I try to provide information for being more healthier and at the same time increase your result as much as possible. So let's come back to the nutrition. About the mental state, so let's say we have a lot of different neurotransmitters and hormones like serotonin and dopamine, and for instance you don't eat any grains where it might be a certain amino acids what you need. So basically for the certain transmitters we need actually it's really small amount of protein and amino acids, but if you not get it, it means your body don't have from where to produce it, and it means it affects your state. It affects your emotional state, and you might became more, let's say, lazy or even depressed, or even stress might affect you more. But if you can, just try to stay away from stress as far as you can, because usually it suppresses your producing testosterone, what's really important. Nutrition, raw oils, good fat. So if you not eat enough good fat, it means you have no hormones. It means body don't have the source from what produced the testosterone was really important in your training. So you need to balance your nutrition. It means if you don't have enough hormones, you will get more tired and you will not training hard enough as you can. So like people who from childhood eat less good fat than they need, they always have a little bit less hormones that the body can produce actually. We all determined by our genetics, so we have a certain program, so some people have more hormones, some less, and so on. But still, your body, let's say, can produce a certain amount of hormones and don't have nutrition for it, you lose even that small benefit for what we try to fight. So try to balance your food like a 30% of protein, 30 carbohydrates and good fat approximately. So basically you'll get everything what you need. Same about certain amino acids what we need for our neurotransmitters for being in a good state always. So for that you don't need much, a little bit of seeds, a little bit of grains or beans, and basically you might get necessary amount of amino acids what you might need for the day. So it's not that much how it seems like, but if you wanna gain the muscle, if you wanna gain certain weight, like you wanna have a bigger muscle, yeah, it means you need more material for build it, so you need more protein. And mostly we eat carbohydrates, so most of the food what we eat around, different kind of bakeries, potato, pasta, pizzas, sweets, whatever, all carbs, and it's not a complex carb, it's a fast carbs that make it even worse. So it's not surprise so many people they have a lack of protein, so basically you don't have enough material for gain good quality of whey. Same when you gain in a whey, you need to make a really good system. So when I say the regime, it's not only about when you're going to sleep, when you're training, when you're eating, but yeah, it's super important. It's also what you eat and how much you eat. So if you make a super precise regime about all of the necessary nutritions and you count how many calories do you need, it will be really easy to manage it and get much better result what you want. Let's say you gain in weight, and if you increase amount of calories like twice, so probably you will start to get in fat sooner or later. And if you're not gaining any weight and if you don't have any fat, so probably you just eat not enough. That's it. So you need to increase the amount of food really slowly, like week by week, let's say. So it shouldn't be like increased dramatically. First of all, it will be difficult for your digestion. So you will feel heavy, all energy will go to your digestion and you became even more lazy than before. It's not give you more energy how it seems like. But when you're training a little bit harder, you spend a little bit more calories. It means you need a little bit more energy, but it's really little bit. So now we have a lot of cool gadgets, so it's really easy to check on your smartwatch approximately how many calories you spend. And you take a note. Another video I make how to count the calories and all of your nutritions approximately. So even approximately when you do it, you might get idea how much and what food did you eat. So then you can see, okay, I spend this amount of calories and I eat this amount of calories, and for keep all of the body process I need a certain amount of calories and so on. So when you train a little bit harder, you need a little bit more fuel for it. When you gain a little bit more weight, let's say in a month's time you get bigger on 1 kilo. So for this 1 kilo of muscle, you need more energy for serve it, and you need a little bit more energy for keep it. So maybe you need to eat like 30 grams of grains more than usual. Then another month you gain another kilo weight, so you like 2 kilo bigger already. So maybe you need to increase like 50 grams of carbs, let's say, already, and so on. So as bigger you get, it's more energy need for serve all of your muscles. Because for example, if you have fat, it no need much energy for serve the fat. You have fat and so on, but you still will be hungry because you need feed your fat for not lose it. Because usually body keep everything because we are focused only on surviving. Then if you want to lose fat, you need to eat a little bit less for use some energy from fat you stored already. So the best way, just cut it little by little for not feel any stress, and it became a normal for you. So same when you gain in weight, just do it slowly, step by step. It's most easiest way. So in that case, you maybe look always lean, but it's same depend what system you used to. For example, gaining weight little by little, it works not so good for me. So I done the cycle like 3 months I gain in weight, and after like 3 months I cut in weight. So more or less stay in a normal condition, not too fat, but not too lean. But some people who maybe have a higher metabolism or maybe produce a little bit more hormones, they like can be always lean and just little by little they increase the weight. But some people, they're really difficult for gain weight. So they always try to add more calories as possible. And if they're not hungry, they try to do more activity like fitness, little bit of run or do some cardio just in one purpose for increase appetite. So basically I give you like quite random information, but everything just circling around the regime. So for have a really good result, you need to have a good regime, and for make a good regime you need to balance on all of the things like nutrition, your training, what training you will do, and what day, how hard it will be. So you will give a certain program to your body. As I said before, to speak to your organs, to speak to your muscles, to your cells, you create a certain environment and you will get a response on the environment. For if you know the experiment about the stem cells, so when we just born and everything, we have only stem cells and start to construct our body from it. So stem cells can become in a muscle, can become in a bone, can become in a fat, and so on. So basically it can be anything, but why it gets to the bone or muscle or fat or so on, it's only reaction on the environment. So the stem cells, they get a certain environment and they get like certain reaction and became certain matter. So it's quite interesting experience. You can find it online, and basically it's much more really cool information. So probably some scientists say just get a salary for really cool works and really cool research, and it's full of it. And by searching for certain information, you can get really precise conclusions. So in this case, I try to say sharing not only my experience, so I try this thing, that thing, and see what works well, and experience on other guys as well. So I'm usually just talk to other guys, see like a really good looking guy, usually ask what he eat, how he training, and so on. And you know, from a majority of people, I get like more or less the same answers. So in my case, what I can say, training for some times, but until I manage my regime, I didn't get such good results. So when I gain in weight, until I start eating in the same time, I start to train in the same time, everything gets like much faster. And before, maybe 2-3 months, I didn't got much result as well. Then I start to cutting weight, so like be more lean, and I still keep in the same regime. Just start to do the cardio in the morning in the same time, about from 6 till 7 a.m. So basically it depends, it might be from 4 a.m., might be 5, but usually about 6 a.m. It's when your testosterone level is high as possible, so it's really good for making morning exercise, especially if you want to burn more fat. So my results increased like dramatically. So in a month's time, I got much better results than I just training randomly for the 3 months. All right, so hopefully it will be useful for you. For sure you got my point. I hope so. I'll deliver it for you. So stay tuned, and later on I'll try to provide for you much more cool, interesting information.